Pokémon X and Y, the start of Generation 6. These games came with a lot of change for the franchise, namely the switch to full 3D, a new type, and Mega Evolutions. But today, we don't have access to Mega Evolutions because we're answering the question, can you beat Pokémon version X with only the Fairy type? The obvious answer is no. You start the game with a non-Fairy type and are forced into battle before you can catch one. But don't worry, I have a unofficial workaround. That being said, Monotype runs are nothing new. But I'm here for a challenge, and Fairy type is one of the best types in this game. So this challenge is going to be mostly artificial. The rule set is as follows. 1. A Pokémon is only allowed to be seen in battle if it is or evolves into a Fairy type. Other Pokémon are allowed in the party but may not show up in battle, even if pulled in with a Whirlwind or Roar. Breaking this rule will cause an immediate reset. 2. An HM Slave is allowed, but only for required HMs that are impossible to learn otherwise. 3. No EXP share and battle style must be set to set. Because if you can't swap out after a knockout in the battle subway, you shouldn't be able to anywhere else. 4. I can only use one Pokemon to start and get an additional slot per gym. In other words, I can only have one at Gym 1, 2 at Gym 2, 3 at Gym 3, etc. Additionally, I am playing on an emulator, so I am allowing save states, just not in battle. Now let's get on with the actual game. First things first, my starter. I choose Froakie as its Water Dark typing makes it the weakest to my all-Fairy team. Unfortunately, there is no Fairy type in any of the starter's evolution lines. So instead, I'll just hack one in. Now, I know that sounds bad, but let me explain. I'm hacking in a Togepi, a baby Pokemon whose only attacking move is Metronome until level 14, where Togetic learns Fairy Wind. This means I not only have to survive on Metronome for 9 levels, and likely a gym, but I also have to get my friendship up to 220 so Togepi can even evolve. If I miss that mark, I'll have to wait until I get Return or Fly for a consistent attacking move. But Togetic's ability to learn Fly is the real reason why I'm choosing a Togepi to start. The Togepi line is the only Fairy-type line that can learn Fly in Gen 6, and unfortunately Togepi is uncatchable in the Kalos region. So if I want to be able to fly in this run, I either have to, cheat or cheat. Now that I have an actual usable Pokemon, it's time for my first battle. This one is against our pseudo-rival Shauna, and because I chose Froakie, she's a Fennekin. These early battles are where all the challenge of this run comes from, unless I were to, avoid battles and have underleveled Pokemon for the last stretch of the game. But don't worry, I would never do that. But either way, my only real strat here is to just use Charm to lower the Fennekin's attack by 2 stages and then spam Metronome. I ended up getting a lucky heal and won the battle on my first try. Let's just hope this luck continues. After that, I went and talked to my mom, got the town map, and finally headed off on my journey. Heading on to Route 2, I meet up with Shauna and Serena to learn how to catch Pokemon. And this dumb child gave the worst advice possible. Like, come on, only knocking the Bunnelby into yellow and not even putting it to sleep? No wonder she only has 5 Pokemon at the end of the game, she doesn't even know the basics! Luckily, her inability to catch Pokemon doesn't really affect me, so I pay them no mind and head straight into the forest. Overall, the forest is pretty easy. I mean, it is an early game area, and you do have Shauna to heal you whenever you need. On the other side, I made a preschooler cry, but Karma got the last laugh, as I rolled a belly drum on my last Metronome. The only chance now is to confuse with Sweet Kiss, and of course I got paralyzed instead. This is why we save. On my second attempt, I run out of Metronome again, but Sweet Kiss actually works this time, so I'm able to win the battle. Now that I've made it to Santaloon City, I can heal and challenge the first gym. Finally, after all the battles, my Togepi evolves into a Togetic. With its much higher stats, Togetic will be able to utilize Metronome much more effectively. So, without any more delay, it's time for our first gym battle. Fairy v Bug, BTS Mill versus Viola. After a Thunderbolt, Thundershock, and just a plain Thunder, I beat Viola and secured my very first badge. Now that I've beat the first gym, I'm allowed to add a new mon to the party. On Route 4, I catch not 1, not 2, but 3 whole Flabebe. I would have only caught the first one, but it had 50 total IV and a special attack hindering nature. And Florges is a special attacker, so doing 10% less damage would be a major downfall. Next into Lumiose, I head to Professor Sycamore's laboratory, or whatever it is, to show him the power of a weird bird thing and a little dude holding a flower. By this point in the game, I actually win battles consistently. My Togetic knows Yawn and Fairy Wind, so as long as I can survive until Yawn takes effect, I essentially have a guaranteed win. That's exactly what happened here. After my Flabebe dies, I switch to Togetic and put all 3 Kanto starters to sleep before KOing them. I am still using Metronome here because although Fairy Wind is consistent, it only has 40 power. Metronome has the chance to roll something better, but it usually doesn't. With another win under my belt, I received my very own Squirtle and proceed to release him in the middle of Lumiose. 'Tis a shame. If only the little guy was part fairy, he wouldn't be forced to live a life in the piss-filled city of Paris. Next, I get the honor of talking to Mr. Team Flare himself. Afterwards, I make my way to Route 5, where I fail to resume Skater Mommy. JK, I forgot her name, and I'm too lazy to look it up. Either way, I continue down the path for a pseudo-rival battle versus Tierno. I win, of course, and make my way to Camfrier? Confrier? I don't know, it's supposed to be French, so it's probably that last one. Whatever, I make my way to the town, and in that town, I go to the castle before getting told that there's a Snorlax blocking the Route 7 bridge. As the main character, I get the honor of getting the Pokeflute from Parfum Palace. During my escapades, my Flabebe evolved into a Floette, though. On the other side of the bridge and through the cave, I head down the mountain into Emberette Town, where I get a fossil I can't use. From there, I get the dowsing machine before enjoying a long walk on the beach to Salage City, where I get to fight the second gym. After 4 trainers and a free climb for some reason, I make my way to the top of the gym and challenge the leader to a battle. This time, it's Fairy v Rock, BTS Mill versus Grant. So yeah, this gym was actually kind of hard. I died several times even though I sort of have a type advantage due to my grass type attacks. The Tyrant kept making me flinch, and that was most of the problem. But with Rock Badge in hand, I head outward and onward to continue with my journey. Actually, before I head to Shalor, I can add a third Mon to the team. So I obviously am going to backtrack to Route 4 to get to Ralts. Back in Sillage, I head north and battle some Team Flare grunts on my way to Shalor. I then head to the Tower of Mastery for a fight against Serena. That battle was more tedious than challenging, but now it's over, so we can head to Shalor Gym. Alright, here we are with another leader battle. This time it's Fairy v Fighting BTS Mill versus Ocarina. And there we have it. Just like that, my run is over. You could make the argument that Lucario is technically Korrina's and never in my actual party, and this is the kind of loophole that I would exploit, but the Pokédex has other plans. That symbol means I have caught a Lucario. Well, I still have several hours of footage left, so from now on I'll just give less updates on things that aren't directly related to a gym. Oh, but before I make a montage of the next 3 gyms, I can now use Surf. So I go back to Route 3 and Kitchen Hyrule. And I kid you not, this thing had 4 stats with perfect IVs. That's a less than a 1 in a million chance. But yeah, here's the next 3 gyms. And there we have it, 3 gyms, 2 rival battles, and an encounter with Team Flare. Oddly enough, I had the hardest time with Clement's electric types. Although I didn't show it, I did die 3 times. First time was because when you walk up to him, the battle starts when you get close enough, not when you talk to him like everyone else. So I went in the first time with low health. And every time after that, I kept getting hit with a Thunderbolt even though I had 3 to 4 stacks of evasion. Both rival battles were equally as challenging as the first. Serena's Meowstic is fairly tanky, especially with the light screen. The same is true for Valerie's Sylveon. I actually had to cut out like a third of the battle, so it would fit into a single 32-bar phrase of Spider Dance. That brings us to the Pokeball Factory. It goes exactly as you would expect. The Team Flare members mostly use Dark and Poison types, and Fairy is good on Dark, and I have Gardevoir for Poison. I tried to turn down the Master Ball from Mr. Balls himself, but he gave it to me anyway. From there, I had to Anastar, but I have to make a detour in Frost Cavern first. In Anastar, though, I have another rival battle. This battle was just like the rest. Serena has a Vaporeon now, but I have Petal Blizzard on my Flurgus, who's also holding a Meadow Plate. Now I can make my way into Gym 7. Ooh, sorry about that. Got a little carried away. Now we have our true battle with Mr. Team Flare. The first 3 Pokemon are easy. I was essentially able to no-hit my way to his Gyarados, but once that thing Mega Evolves, it's a force to be reckoned with. Theoretically, I should be fine due to its Water-Dark typing, but it's just so powerful and fairly fast on top of it being 3 levels higher than my highest. Fortunately, I was able to land a Fairy Wind with Togekiss, and I finished off the Gyarados with the Moonblast from Xerneas. Mans goes and gets so salty that he kills himself, I think. I don't really know. I didn't pay attention to this game's story when it first came out, and I sure as am not paying attention now. I'm still mad that it forced me to use Lucario. We come out of the explosion unscathed, so I head to Route 18 to catch the final addition to my team, a Klefki. I then quickly learned that Klefki are found on Route 15 and that I could have had one for a hot minute. Now I have my entire team, so I head to Sillage to thieve some heart scales from a few love discs. I want my Florges to have Moonblast and Petal Dance as opposed to Fairy Wind and Petal Blizzard. Traditionally, the only way to do this is by keeping a Floette until level 51, but alternatively, I can take 2 heart scales to a Move Rememberer. With my newly optimized team, I work the floor with the Professor before heading to the final stretch of my journey, starting with the final gym. With all 8 badges in hand, I head to Victory Road, but right outside the gate, this clown challenges me to a battle. With him dealt with, it's on to Victory Road. Now that the sax melody is over, I can stop stalling and start talking about the Elite Four. Each member of the Elite Four has 4 Pokemon. This means I have to take care of 4 Fire types, 4 Steel types, 4 Dragon types, and 4 Water types. For the Fire types, my plan is to use Azumarill followed by Togekiss. Unfortunately, a single Hydro Pump doesn't kill and the Pyroar is healed. 2 Surfs do the trick though. The Talonflame is annoying due to its high speed. It kills my Azumarill and I take the free trade in to hit it with an Ancient Power. Due to all the recoil damage the Talonflame took, I kill it in a single hit. I put the Torkoal to sleep and I KO it with ease. Finally, 2 Ancient Powers take care of the Chandelure. Next, I'll head to Steel. Here I'll use Azumarill and Gardevoir's fighting type moves to achieve a quick victory. Aegislash, however, is immune to fighting, but as of Gen 6, weak to Dark. A simple Foul Play takes it out in 1 hit. Now we have Dragon. Xerneas sweeps. Or at least it would if Dragalge wasn't Dragon Poison. I had to replace Geomancy with Calm Mind to get the extra defense on the first turn. Without it, the first Sludge Bomb deals too much damage and combined with the poison, I just couldn't survive. Last, we have Water. I expected this to be hard, but Calm Mind spammed into Petal Blizzard works like a charm. With the Elite Four defeated, it's time for the champion, our final fight. Fairy v Kalos' best, BTS Meal versus Diantha. This battle probably isn't going to go well. It's a 6v6, and I'm underleveled. My plan going in is to use Gardevoir for Halutra, Florges for Tyrantrum, Klefki for Aurorus and Gourgeist, Xerneas for Goodra, and anyone left for the Mega Gardevoir. And just a reminder, due to my rules, I am playing on set, so I can't switch out after Diantha's Pokemon faint. As you can see, Gardevoir isn't out right now. I forgot to change my lead before the battle. Luckily, it's not a big deal. A Yawn into Sky Attack lets me put the Halutra to sleep, and I kill it in one hit. I then try to Yawn the Tyrantrum so Florges has an easier time. I thought Florges could survive at least one hit, but that was not the case. Luckily, Florges isn't my only Mon with Fairy-type attacks. I swap to Xerneas, and proceed to sweep. The battle ended up being significantly easier than I expected. But there we have it. I can now definitively say, no, you cannot beat Pokemon version X with only the Fairy type. Thank you all so much for watching the video. I'm an incredibly small channel, so even the fact that you clicked on this brings me so much joy. If you enjoyed it, please like the video. Once again, I'm just starting out, so every bit helps. Additionally, please leave a comment critiquing how I edited the video. I can't get better if I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Oh, background music suggestions. Those would be very helpful. Also, this is technically a spin-off channel, so I already have a Discord, link in description.